We're here at the NRA convention with Chief Patrol Agent Owens. Thank you very much for being with us. And so I want to know, what are some of the concerns that the Border Patrol guys have? You know, both the guys on the front line and you guys who are more in a supervisory role. You know, what are some of the things that worry you right now?
Well, obviously the things that keep us up at night are the threats that come across our borders. It's our responsibility to keep basically bad things and bad people from coming across our border that would do our country and its people harm.
So what type of things or what type of people might that be?
People from all over the world that come in, not just from Mexico, not just from Central America and South America, but for example, here in Laredo sector, we have the highest number of Bangladeshi nationals that are coming into the country illegally. What's their purpose? What's their intent? We don't know until we actually apprehend them, interview them, and find out what their purpose is. We have an increased amount of cocaine seizures that are coming across our border. The hard narcotics, due to the opioid epidemic that we're seeing here in this country, we're starting to see an increased flow of those as well. Not just the traditional marijuana seizures, which already are counted in terms of tonnage, not in pounds, but we have methamphetamines, we have heroin, we have cocaine, we have fentanyl seizures. All of those are much more dangerous once they get on the streets.
Very good. So what kind of dangers do your guys face down at the border?
So we have a cartel that's very determined, very deadly, that is constantly engaging with the government of Mexico in gun battles. And we're talking about 50 cals, we're talking about grenade launchers, we're talking about serious, deadly intent. They control absolutely everything, all of the illicit traffic that comes across our borders. That's the enemy that the men and women of the United States Border Patrol are faced with each and every day. Every time that they encounter somebody, they don't know who it is, where they come from, and almost every single time they're in a remote location and significantly outnumbered. That's what we face day in and day out.
Wow. And so do you guys see a lot of coyotes, and also is there a lot of human smuggling, and is this for, you know, the sex trade or slavery, or, you know, what do you guys see coming across the border?
All of the above. So Laredo sector is actually the fourth busiest in terms of flow in the entire nation. And so the things that we see, the migrants that embark on this journey, from the moment they leave their homes, are in extreme danger. In the hands of the coyotes, in the hands of the transnational criminal organizations, they are faced with perilous travel where no food, no water, in very austere conditions. If they make it across the river, they're faced with walking for sometimes days through the middle of the desert. If they fall behind, they get left behind. If they go to the stash houses, they're left there sometimes for weeks on end. Again, no food, no water, no restrooms. Sometimes they're extorted for money. Sometimes they're sexually assaulted. If they make it past that, then a lot of times they're put on a tractor trailer to be smuggled further north. They're locked inside, no air conditioning, no water. If they die, no one cares. They discard the bodies until they make it to the final location, which many times can involve human trafficking, forced labor, sexual assault, you name it.
Wow. So I guess the migrants who try to come across are in danger, and your guys on the border are in danger.
When it comes to dealing with the transnational criminal organizations, everybody is in danger, to include the members of the community on both sides of the border, members of the government in Mexico, the people that are being smuggled, and the agents that are trying to defend it. Everybody is placed in danger, in peril, when you're dealing with somebody that is that callous and that dangerous.
And so what are some of the things you guys are doing about these different dangers and these different issues that you can talk about publicly?
Well, everything we do, when we deploy against the threat based on intelligence. So every time we develop intelligence that the adversary is doing something different, they're employing a different tactic, technique, or procedures, we adjust to deal with it. We do two different types of enforcement effort. We do conventional force, which deals with terrain denial. We're trying to stop the flow from coming across, and then we target those that are responsible. So the transnational criminal organization members and cells that are responsible for that flow of illicit traffic, we go after them and target them with the maximum jail sentence possible. That's the consequence delivery piece that is very important.
Interesting. And so this caravan has been a lot in the news. President Trump has been tweeting about it. I guess they arrived at the border recently. What can you tell us about this? What should the American people know?
So that caravan simply highlights a problem that's been ongoing for years. Whether they load up on the back of a train called La Bestia, or whether they come in bus, train, automobile, or whether they all get in line and march in one big caravan, they are still arriving to our borders with the intent of crossing our borders illegally and violating our immigration laws. That is simply a symbol that highlights the problem that's been going on along our nation's border for decades.
So what do you guys need from Congress? What do you guys need in terms of support? You know, what would, if you could talk to members of Congress right now, what would you guys ask them for?
Just that we are thankful for every ounce of support that they can give us. If it's force multipliers in the form of infrastructure, technology, equipment, additional manpower, all of those things that they are giving us and continue to give us, we're very thankful for and we very much need.
Interesting. The president has been kind of critical of Mexican authorities lately for supposedly not cooperating enough. How much do you guys work with your Mexican counterparts, and are they doing what needs to be done to keep their country and our country safe?
So here on the ground, I can tell you that we have a very good relationship with the government of Mexico. We work very closely with our partners. Sedena and Semar are the Mexican military entities, the counterparts to our south. We do joint operations with them. We do information sharing so that ideally they can stop the flow of illicit traffic before it ever even crosses our borders. They're engaged in a very dangerous battle with those cartels to the south of us on a daily basis. There are soldiers in the government of Mexico's military that are dying in that cause every single day. So while we're always looking for everybody to be more supportive until we can actually achieve complete border security, we're very proud and happy with the partnership that we have with the government of Mexico.
And so as far as trends right now, are you guys seeing more illegal activity at the border, more crossings, less? What are you guys seeing in terms of what's happening?
So here in the Laredo sector, we're actually 21% higher than we were this time last year in terms of migrant traffic coming across. Cocaine seizures, we're about 20% higher for that as well. Marijuana seizures, we're hovering around, I think 5% or so less, but it's right there on par with last year.
And what do you think is causing the increase over last year, if you have any ideas?
I think some of the policy changes that were talked about last year with the new administration coming in had a lot to do with how the flow of the traffic was being controlled. I think once they became accustomed to the change in administration and what they were seeing, they became more comfortable with resuming that traffic.
Interesting. All right. So if you could say anything to the American people right now, what would you want to tell them?
Just that I'm very proud to be part of this organization. I'm very, very proud to be taking part in this mission. The men and women of the United States Border Patrol are without a doubt heroes in my mind. They go out every single day and do a very dangerous and perilous job. The countless lives that are saved, the criminal aliens that are kept off the street, the convicted sex traffickers that are kept off the street, the persons from special interest countries that would come in and do our country harm. Every single day, our men and women are out there protecting the American people from them. I support it 100%, and I'm glad everybody that is out there listening to you now is supportive of what we do.